Good evening and welcome to the World News on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Nwachukwu and these are the top stories. Federal government raids Abuja Chinese supermarket which discriminates against Nigerians. Kano George vacates order upholding Ganduje suspension from the APC. CJN Ariwola promotes Wike's wife, 21 other judges to appeal court. Ohaneze Indibo endorses Gowon's remarks on Boko Haram knocks on Northern Elders Forum. And former Governor Ikpeazu replies Governor Otti's recent trending video across social media platforms. Details now. The World News at 6 begins with officials of the Federal Protection Commission raiding the Chinese supermarket in Abuja, which allegedly prevents Nigerians from shopping from it. This follows the outrage from Nigerians on Sunday who took to social media to condemn the management of the Abuja-based Chinese supermarket denying Nigerians entry into the facility. VOP News learned that the supermarket situated at the China General Chamber of Commerce along Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Road in the Federal Capital Territory is acclaimed as a destination for Chinese cuisine and beverages. Surprisingly, entry into the supermarket is said to be restricted exclusively to Chinese individuals. The facility manager of the complex, Shaibu Sanusi, has verified that individuals from outside the complex who are Nigerians do not engage in shopping there, but those Nigerians who reside within the complex are allowed access for shopping purposes. While the supermarket is closed, the FCCPC has suggested that individuals may be staying inside in an attempt to invade interaction with the agency. Elsewhere, a court in Kano today vacated a previous court order that affirmed the suspension of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, from the party. This decision follows contentious developments within the party's ranks and judicial interventions. The controversy began last week when APC executives from Dawakin Ward in Tofa local government area of Kano suspended Ganduje, citing allegations of corruption. However, the state's APC working committee quickly intervened, nullifying the suspension and subsequently disciplining the ward executives responsible for the decision. Amid these internal party conflicts, Judge Usman Abba initially upheld the suspension, a stance that prompted Ganduje supporters at the ward level to petition the National Judicial Council against him, citing potential biases and procedural irregularities. They wrote in the petition, the decision to intervene in internal party affairs without clear and compelling reasons to circumvent the party's own mechanisms appears to constitute constitutional overreach. This action sets a concerned precedent regarding the impartiality and scope of judicial intervention in political party governance. The issuance of ex parte order in a politically sensitive matter involving the leadership of a political party without ensuring that all internal remedies have been exhausted raises concerns about the proper judicial process. However, today, Naaba vacated his earlier verdict and set April 30 to hear the case. Meanwhile, Abarachi Wike, the wife of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has been promoted to the Court of Appeal. This development comes after a rigorous selection process which saw only 22 judges out of 89 nominees being chosen to fill available positions. The promotion was approved by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kayode Ariwola, on April 2, 2024, and has been forwarded to President Tinubu for appointment. The list of newly appointed justices reviews a diverse selection of judges from various states and federal high courts across the 6 geopolitical zones. From the North Central region, Justices Polycarp Tema Kwahara, Rukayat Ayola, Eneche Elojo, Asmara Akambi Yusuf, Abdullahi Mohammed Liman, and Abdu Dogo were appointed. The Northeast region has only one representative, Justice Fadahu Umaru from Borno State. In the Northwest region, Justices Ishaq Mohammed Sani, Zainab Bake Abubakar, and Abdulaziz M. Ankara were appointed, while the Southeast region saw the promotion of Justices Thomas Nnamdi Okwudimga Victoria, Tochukwu Nwoye, Henry Ajono Njoku, Donatus Uwazioke Okorowo, and Ngozika Okasabo. Now, Ohanaeze Ndigbo has dismissed the assertions made by the Northern Elders Forum, which allege that Northerners in the Southeast region are being harassed. The rebuttal by the Pan-Igbo organization comes in the wake of former military head of state General Yakubu Gowon's statement affirming Boko Haram as a primary obstacle to Nigeria's peace and development since the civil war. Ohanaeze Ndigbo urged the NEF, that is a National Executive Council, to take Gowon's statement seriously while urging the forum's claims of harassment and attacks on Northerners conducting lawful business in the Southeast to be unsubstantiated and divisive. However, Ohanaeze Ndigbo says it find it heartening, or rather disheartening, that the Northern Elders Forum, through Salisu Mohammed, Deputy Director, chose to propagate unsubstantiated claims regarding alleged harassment and attacks on Northerners conducting lawful business in the Southeast. Ohanaeze Ndigbo therefore used this opportunity to advocate for a thorough investigation to verify the authenticity, location, and timeline of the circulated video depicting this purported harassment. They stated, and quote, "We vehemently condemn all forms of violence and intimidation against any Nigerian, whether in the East or North. We call on the Northern Elders Forum to exercise caution and refrain from making divisive accusations against the Southeast." You're currently listening to the World News at 6 on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break. When we return, more news, and we head into a news analysis segment. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're currently listening to the World News on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Imo News reports the Rivers State House of Assembly today passed the Local Government Amendment Bill into law. VOP News gathered that the lawmakers passed the bill without the assent of the State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara. The House, led by its Speaker, Honorable Martins Amawale, made the decision at its 159th legislative sitting, which held at the Assembly Quarters in Port Harcourt. You'll recall that on March 13, 2024, the House passed a local government bill and forwarded same to Fubara for assent, which the governor declined. The Assembly also defied the State High Court's order depicting, or rather directing, the status quo on the issue of elongating the tenure of elected local government officials, which formed part of the amendment. A statement issued in Port Harcourt today by the media aide to the Speaker, Martins Wachuku, actually displaying that determined to perform its constitutional duties, the bill was represented by the majority leader, Honorable Major Jack, and debated upon by members. They stated further that the House was said to have also screened and confirmed members of the chairman and other members of the Assembly Service Commission in the spirit of the new law. Those screened and confirmed for the position of chairman and members of the Assembly Service Commission were Samson Wolu as chairman, Honorable Abinye Blessing Pepple, Mrs. Blessing Belema Derefaka, Mr. Baranen Robinson, and Madam Dorcas Amos as members. Meanwhile, a situation that has occurred between the former governor of Abia State and the current governor, Alex Otti. Well, a response has been given by the former governor, which is Ikpeazu, and it actually stated that a report trending, and the attention has been drawn to a trending report of a speech delivered by the governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex Otti, at a forum somewhere in the United States of America, wherein he made certain allegations against his predecessor in office, Dr. Ikpeazu, bordering on financial malfeasance. Ever since leaving office as governor of Abia State for 2 consecutive terms, Ikpeazu stated in this report that he carried himself with the dignity his present situation in life demands and has, as a matter of personal policy, avoided any confrontation with the present governor and his administration. However, he stated that Dr. Ikpeazu has authorized and that clarifications whenever the current administration seeks to misinform the public about what transpired during the last administration, citing clear instances of those that abound, and a few of them, according to him, shall be highlighted later in this release. Actually, I want to also speak with a political analyst. He's also a legal practitioner, and of course, he's actually been on this program for quite a while, where he's been able to divulge issues in the polity. Now, beyond that, he has been able to give us a clear perspective on some questions posed at him, and that is Honorable Oladotun Hassan Esquire. He'll be answering some questions on the World News at 6 based on the reports that I just read out to you. We'll take a very little break while I make connection with him, and then the conversation continues. Do stay with us. We have connected with Oladotun Esquire. He will be sharing some insight into some questions that will be posed at him. Hello, sir. Welcome to the World News at 6 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
All right, thank you for joining me this evening. First of all, my first question to you is concerning the supermarket in Abuja, the Chinese supermarket in Abuja, which was closed down today by the federal government. As of yesterday, or rather over the weekend, Nigerians actually that went to visit that supermarket set out the conversation. They say that they do not allow Nigerians coming to that supermarket to shop. Meanwhile, there are some personnel working there who are Nigerians. Those who serve inside the supermarket, including the security guard, are Nigerians. But they do not attend to any Nigerian at all. They only attend to Chinese nationals who reside in this country. And it went, across social media. It populated across social media. And the conversation set up. Making a decisive action, however, the federal government raided that particular supermarket, discriminating against Nigerians. Is there any possibility? Is it possible, barrister, that in this country there are private establishments of possibly, international origin, possibly international individuals who are not Nigerians, that would own a particular establishment here and would not allow us enter or gain access to that establishment? I mean, is there anywhere in the Nigerian constitution that is allowed? Because when this circulated, a couple of Nigerians went to find out themselves. They went to investigate. They asked the security man at the gate of that supermarket, and he confirmed the particular purported report that circulated on social media that indeed Nigerians are not allowed to shop within the supermarket. However, they said it started earlier on this year in January. As of last year, Nigerians could actually enter the shop and go up about their shopping there. They could go whatever they want to buy, they go there and buy it. But as of January this year, 2024, it started off where some Nigerians cannot enter to buy anything. They only allow their Chinese nationals access to that place. And then it set social media agog, because the question a lot of Nigerians were asking is, what exactly is the problem? Hello?
Hello, yeah, the network is breaking. I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, but your line was busy. All the while I was talking, I was trying to establish connection with you. It's like you got a call. All right, can you go ahead, please? Respond to the question. Hello?
Yes. Yes, we are referring to the issue of the. We refer to the issue of the Ganduje.
No, not Ganduje. I was referring to the Chinese supermarket that does not allow Nigerians to come in and shop. And I'm asking, is there anywhere where Nigerians or non-indigents who have establishments in this country would say it only for their? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you clearly. I would wish this thing can be just humming. So let me.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can't. Yeah, I can't hear you clearly either.
It's concerning the supermarket. Can you hear me now? It's concerning the supermarket. We had a conversation about it before we came on air. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so if you understand the conversation, please just kindly respond. We're running out of time. Hello?
Hello, ma.
Are you in a busy place? Could that be the reason why you can't hear me?
This thing is humming on my ear. It's just humming. So sorry, it's just humming. I wish I could hear clearly, and each time I wish to hear, it's not really getting clear.
All right, I'm trying to ask the Honorable this question because it's quite pertinent that we have this conversation. It's been a worrisome development ever since it happened as to why Nigerians cannot have access into a supermarket in their own country. And it caused quite the rift, across social media before the federal government intervened. Another situation I actually want a response to is concerning Nyesom Wike's wife, who has been promoted to the appeal court today. The president was able to assent to that, and netizens and critics went ahead to say that this particular selection, they don't understand the authenticity or the neutrality involved, and that's one thing I wanted my analysts to help us clear or give us a clear perspective on. Her name, that is Nyesom Wike's wife, the FCT minister, is Ebarachi Wike, and she's a minister, the Federal Capital Territory minister's wife, and she has been promoted to the Court of Appeal. Now, this development, like I said earlier, is coming after a rigorous selection process, which saw only 22 judges out of 89 nominees being chosen to fill the available position. And Nigerians are wondering, how come the judicial process has become a place where it is only if you're in the top echelon, any member within that hierarchy would be filled. Now, other critics say possibly Ebarachi, that is Nyesom Wike's wife, has met whatever credible requirement that is required for her. She has passed the bar and possibly she's due for that promotion. You recall last week there was a protest against the CJN, and a couple of top echelon lawyers or justices, they complained that some individuals promoted are not based on merit but based on their connection with certain people, and that actually set the tone to something else. People couldn't understand why that particular doctrine or system has been at play. We had a conversation right here in the studio where we talked about this similarly, and a lot of Nigerians complained of that kind of attitude within our judicial system. However, today these nominees were sent to the president, which he assented to, and Nyesom Wike's wife was also part of those who were nominated, and she has been promoted to the Court of Appeal. So questions now arise as to, will this determine maybe a form of objectivity in the carriage of justice if we're having persons in the polity 7 and their family members in the top echelon of our judicial system? Possibly there is a possibility that things may not go the way as they ought to go when it comes to the dispensation of justice. I'm trying to call another legal practitioner, since the other legal practitioner is saying he can't hear me. Possibly he's on the road or he's somewhere busy. I want them to actually shed light on some of these conversations that I'm driving out here, so we can have a better perspective and not have any sentiments in regards to the stories that were read out this evening. Also, there is a categorical response from former governor of Abia State, Ikpeazu. Well, apparently there was a video that circulated on social media recently where Governor Otti was addressing a couple of people, where he said that there was a forensic audit carried out by one of the top 3 forensic firms in this country. They were able to carry out a forensic audit on the financial activities within the administration of the former governor in Abia State. And he said the amount of monies that were found out to be embezzled and the fraudulent activities without projects actually carried out was mind-boggling. Well, there is a response from former governor Ikpeazu, saying that he has tried to keep to his lane and not have anything or any confrontation with the current governor of Abia State. He has written a report and saying that he's trying to make it clear that what the governor, that is what Governor Alex Otti spewed at that particular forum, he called it a tissue of lies, and he said it was intricately woven by a spin doctor to deceive his audience and internationalize his known deep aversion for his predecessor. And according to him, he said that he welcomed the fact that the governor chose to bring in a reputable firm of auditors who conducted a forensic audit. And according to him, he said that the firm is one of the top 3 in the world. Therefore, it must be Deloitte, Ernst and Young, or PricewaterhouseCoopers. That these are firms whose professionalism and global repute are not in doubt. However, according to Ikpeazu, Nigerians wondered if these allegations came at you, why don't you defend yourself to prove that it is untrue? And a lot of netizens and even residents in Abia State corroborated with what Governor Otti said against his predecessor, and that is former Governor Ikpeazu. The embezzlement that took place in the state, the financial malfeasance, and the fact that most of the contracts, in fact, pictures circulated on X where they showed the state general hospital, the appalling and dilapidated state, that's the structure or the establishment of that state general hospital and what it is now. So the question a lot of netizens and Nigerians are asking is, what are you trying to clarify and defend? And why would you say that what Governor Otti said are lies? If you have anything to prove otherwise, why don't you counter what the governor is saying rather than coming to defend something where you're not bringing any facts? Other netizens and critics, economic analysts also disclose that what former Governor Ikpeazu is saying is definitely a way to cover up. Now they're asking Governor Otti to sue Ikpeazu to court if he has all this evidence. A lot of Nigerians feel that political elites have gone away with too much taxpayers' money without having to pay due diligence. They've not paid for it. No punitive measures applied. They've asked the EFCC to go on and investigate. Others say that cannot happen unless a petition is written. And so they're asking Governor Otti to write a petition officially to the EFCC to come and investigate the former governor and to know if indeed all the financial malfeasance as described in that particular gathering with the foreigners in the United States of America is true. A lot of netizens also corroborated with Governor Alex Otti, stating that indeed Governor Ikpeazu did not actually make any improvement in Abia State as compared to what Governor Alex Otti is doing. That is part of the conversations that actually went rife across the globe, or rather in the country, which has sparked the reaction from across several platforms. And the questions and netizens and the questions that all the Nigerians are asking is, what is the viability of the current administration of Alex Otti to ensure that beyond him disclosing the amount of money that was wasted by the previous administration, where there was no fact finding, there was no proof to the contracts that he had written and the monies that had been collected, then he should do the due diligence of ensuring that he is intricately investigated by the EFCC. I sincerely do apologize that none of the analysts could pick up. The other analyst said that he couldn't hear me. I had to properly describe and explain exactly what the news is all about, and there were questions I wanted him to ask. I am not an analyst. I'm basically just going to read the news, but this is basically the stories that we have right here in the World News at 6, and we do hope that you're able to understand exclusively what this means. Another question I also wanted my analyst to respond to is concerning a court in Kano State that has vacated its earlier order of suspending the chairman of the All Progressives Congress, and that is Abdullahi Ganduje. The court vacated a previous order that affirmed the suspension of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress from the party, and the decision follows contentious development within the party's ranks and judicial interventions. Based on the petition written, according to the petitioner, the decision by the court to intervene in the internal party affairs without clear and compelling reasons to circumvent the party's own mechanisms appears to constitute a constitutional overreach. So some APC members in support of Ganduje were able to respond to the court order asking Ganduje to step down, and this is basically what Nigerians are asking. So does it mean that despite the evidences reached or evidences to prove that Ganduje actually is involved in financial malfeasance and a couple of other situations that paints Ganduje in a light that does not give him the plausibility to remain as the APC chair, the same court is vacating that order? What does that mean? Does it mean that Ganduje still remains the APC chairman? And then, of course, they were able to set April 30 to hear the case. So till April 30, Ganduje remains the APC chair? That's a big question a lot of Nigerians are asking. Well, so far, this is basically where we have to draw a curtain on the world news at 6. And before we go, here again are the top stories. You heard that the federal government raids Abuja Chinese supermarkets, which discriminates against Nigerians. Kano judge vacates order upholding Ganduje's suspension from the APC. CJN Ariwola promotes Wike's wife, 21 other judges to appeal court. Ohaneze Indibo endorses Gowon's remarks on Boko Haram, knocks Northern Elders Forum. And former governor of Abia State, Ikpeazu, replies Governor Otti on a particular purported social media platform on his response against him about financial malfeasance. That's a wrap on the world news at 6. My name is Esther Mwachuku. Good evening and thank you for listening.